Hi, my name is George. I received a kit from MakeLure.com as an anniversary gift from my wife Lori. I've looked at the products and they're made in Kalamazoo, 20 minutes from my house. I decided to go up to Alumilite Corporation and see if they could answer the questions I had about making my own mold. After 5 minutes with the Alumilite staff, I was able to come home and successfully make my own mold to make sticko type baits. Let me show you how I did it. When gluing the worms to the surface, you only need to leave a very small space between each one because the mold is very strong and very flexible. When you're making the mold, it'll take approximately half a pound of the silicone rubber molding material. When I go out fishing and I'm tearing up baits, I save all of the tore baits that are no longer usable to bring back home, cut them up, meld them up, and re-pour them, which virtually means they're free after the first pouring. The kit comes with corrugated plastic, which I cut to make a mold box. After putting some plumber's putty on the bottom edge of the mold box to secure it to the glass, now I'm ready to get ready for making my mold. I'm using the high strength 2 base. After you get the base into your mixing container, you use the high strength catalyst. The 2 parts have to be mixed thoroughly, but you don't want to mix it vigorously or you'll get air in it. Once you've thoroughly mixed your molding material, now you can pour it into your mold, starting in one corner, letting it flow. This is where I pour my plastic for my worms, and this is one of the previous made molds. I'll be using about 4 ounces of new plastisol and 1 ounce of the softener. These are previously used rubber worms that I've cut up into small pieces so they will melt easily. I also add a little bit of green dye to keep the color because of the new plastisol I'm using. Before I pour, I usually warm up the molds because they're cold, and that will allow the plastisol to flow more evenly. I over pour each mold to make sure that there are no voids left in the mold and that all the worms are completely filled out. I have a pair of fine scissors for cutting the plastic from the worm. Trim right close to the worm without cutting the worm itself, just cutting right along the edge. The yellow tipped Senko type bait is a factory made one, and the greenish one is one we poured today. There's very little difference between the 2 of them. You can notice that both of them have about the same shake and wobble when they fall on a slack line. That's what entices most of the strikes. They're not magic, but they sure do call in the fish. It feels like a better fish. He's staying down like a good one. Yeah, this one's a little better. Yeah, he liked that. New poured worm. And another bass falls for our little stick worm that we poured today. If you want to have some fun, learn to pour your own stick worms and any other baits that you really love. You'll never want to fish any other way.